Yo, what up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your man, Dave DNYDC, host of the Two Mics Up podcast. Back again live with my wonderful co host, Alisa Middleton. Sis, what's good with you tonight?
I'm here. Every day he wake us up is a blessing.
Okay, well, we back at it again, y'all. And, just want to let everybody, get yourself situated. Call a friend,
Come
tell a
on in.
friend, come on in, get comfortable. Slide on over to that YouTube channel. If you're watching through someone else's live feed, I appreciate you doing that. But we won't be able to see your comments, and we want to make sure that we are capturing everyone's comments. You guys are live with us every week. We love what you guys are doing. So, go ahead and take a minute, slide on over to our YouTube
Enter
channel.
the chat. Enter
Right.
the chat.
Right. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This
Come
is what
on
we do.
in.
Yeah, come on in while we cut up, have some fun. We gonna act a fool and do what we do. Before we get started tonight, and while everybody's getting situated, I want to take a moment to thank a couple of our sponsors. DJ Coco Brown and Bubbles and Bruce Philly. As we always do it here, two mics up. We like to support small businesses. That's what we're all about. DJ Coco Brown, Chanel Brown is an experienced DJ providing both mobile and virtual musical services. Coco Brown is based out of the Delaware, Philadelphia area, but she's been known to travel. She's done some joints right here in VA. Contact DJ Coco Brown at chanel.brown@gmail.com. Yo, she really rocks with that old school and that new school vibe. And Bubbles and Bruce Philly. They've also been on the show. Shots up to my girl Janelle up there in the Delaware, Philadelphia area. They're rocking a vintage mobile prosecco and craft beer bar. If you're looking to raise the bar and have an unforgettable event, contact Bubbles and Bruce Philly at philly@getcozybars.com. They really do big things, and you see a couple of our other show sponsors. And we about ready to get in. Good evening, sis. How you doing, Sharisa? Thank you for joining us tonight. Glad to
Hey,
have you in the building.
sis.
You
How
know,
you doing?
always good to see a familiar face and joining us as we do our thing here each and every Thursday night. So as everyone is getting comfortable, Lisa and I have had some ongoing conversations. Cuz what's happening, Sean Brown, one of the Wonder Twins, coming straight from you know what I'm saying? One of the fabulous DJs, was Boston area. My man, my cousin, Sean Brown, rocking with us tonight. Good seeing you, cuz. Like I was saying, Lisa and I been having some conversations. And Lisa brought up a real good thing. We want to talk about some things in the news and in the media and how sometimes things can be constr- I guess construed, misconstrued. I don't know what you want to call it. Monica, thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, I
Lucy!
mean, great evening.
Lucy!
Jacqueline, thank you
Hey,
for joining us.
cousin. Hey, cuz.
Always good to see family join us. So yeah, we talking about news in the media, and Lisa brought up a very interesting topic last week in our conversation, and I'm going to go ahead and let Lisa get started. Uh, hey, Tracy, if I'm reading that correctly, I apologize if I'm not. Good,
Tracy,
Tracy.
Tracy.
All right, good.
Yes,
Thank you
all
for
the way
joining us.
from New Orleans.
All right, we got New Orleans in the building. All right, we
Yes,
growing up. We expanding.
we
Yeah, we expanding our
standing.
wings. Yeah, we expanding. All
We
right.
growing up. We got codes.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
let you jump in on what you was talking to me about because I thought it was interesting, and when I first heard it, I know my take on it. But I'm gonna let you open up, Lisa, and share with our audience what we were talking about, um, and get your take on it.
Well, I know that all of our audience has heard because it has been all over the news
Hmm.
about Monique and her topic about
Hmm.
bonnets and slippers, and the younger people in the airport wearing bonnets, slippers, pajamas, and not showing pride. When did we lose
Hmm.
pride in ourselves? And coming out in public like that, and
Right.
things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big old controversy about
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Yeah.
I feel like it was a generational controversy because
Okay.
I understand where she's coming from generationally, right?
Right.
Because I know growing up, like my mom, we could not go to the store in a scarf and a headband,
Facts.
slippers, and
Facts.
we couldn't step out the house like that. But what I do understand is that times are changing,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I do understand where the young adults were coming from because what we have now done is we turned into our parents,
Yes.
right?
Agreed.
So we just dictate off of what we know and we don't listen to
Mm-hmm.
our younger generation and how they feel. And I took the opportunity to listen to both sides. And of
Mm.
course, generationally, I get exactly what Monique is saying,
Yeah.
but I just feel like I understand what the youth are saying, and
Mm-hmm.
I get it because what the problem was, from my understanding, and if we have anyone of a younger age and that would like to weigh in, but from my understanding, it was
You had to be dressed with clean underwear. No doubt. You could. Yo, my
listen,
mom used to say, "Boy, you
listen,
get in an accident, you better make sure you got all clean underwear."
right,
Mm.
exactly. And but from their perspective, is, listen, because I'm traveling at 5 o'clock in the morning and I have a scarf on my head, does not mean that I don't have pride in myself. It
Right.
does not mean that I am not taking care of myself. It just means that I am catching a flight to where I'm going to be minding my business, and I'm going to,
Boom. Say if you wear underwear. It's dude, man.
see, boom,
Boom.
starting
Crazy.
already,
He started already. Crazy.
getting ready to get you in a world of trouble, and we
Okay.
ain't even got started yet.
Because that's where I was going with it. But yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead, sis.
Right. So basically, I feel like if we don't listen to the younger generation, because now we are our parents, and if we would have listened to our parents, we wouldn't have rap music,
True.
right?
True. True.
Okay, because I know they weren't fans of that art.
Right. Right.
So, and then another thing I wanted to mention is that we cannot I feel personally that we cannot bash black women, the most educated demographic in the
Mm-hmm.
United States, for what? I mean, I was in the airport and had a
Mm-hmm.
whole conversation with a young lady who had on a bonnet
Right.
and house shoes. She had the blanket and everything, but she was traveling.
What's happening to
Hey,
our brothers over the
hey, hey,
McCrays? What's happening, brothers?
she had on a bonnet, she had the blanket, she had the thing, but our flight got delayed, and we just so happened to start talking. And this lady was a surgeon,
Mm.
but she worked so hard, and she just finished her intern that she finally had time to visit her family. She
Mm-hmm.
was doing connector flights. She was traveling a long way. But when do we start judging people like that?
Well,
And I understand what Monique is saying, but times have changed.
so I agree with you probably 75%, and it is a generational conversation. I will agree with you on that. We have become our parents. But I think I've said before, and something that watching her conversation continue throughout the week. This is why, like a lot of times, I always say I like to watch and see what's said and comes out because I think it's twofold with her. One, because of who she is and her platform and the verbiage that she uses, because we're colorful people, right? And then throw in she's a comedian. So when you hear her say some of the things, first, I thought it was funny because again we're looking at ourselves. And again we're looking at ourselves. I'm just being real. So I thought it was funny at first, but then as the thing starts to spin and like we're talking about news and media, this thing starts growing, right? And then you have people kind of chiming in, and like I said, that's when I started really looking at who was talking in response to her. The generation behind us and those coming behind us that took it as an insult. And I had to say, well, you know what? And we've talked about it on our show in the past. There was a time that you was coughing ready every day. You went out, men wore
Pass the
suits.
shot.
You, you
Pass
know,
the
you
shot.
and these every day. And I remember watching my uncle, like, he struggled, he was poor, but he wore the same suit every day. That's so every day he came in, that suit was clean by hand, hung, and it was ready, pressed the next day. Same pair of shoes. And I get where times have changed and we are evolving. But I do side with her in a way, and I get you. Like every time you're not gonna be ready. I get it. But I do kind of agree because you're being viewed not only by your peers, but and this is where again we deal with the demographics of how do you want to be treated? Because if someone sees you that way, and I don't want this to come off wrong, but you know how we are like, oh look at this bum ass B. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we are. So then
Oh,
like you know what I'm saying? So like can you really be mad if I know I don't know you, but if that's how you're coming across, and like I said, the woman you saw or spoke to was a doctor, and
sir.
she's right, you're a surgeon. I don't know this person, but our appearances, right? And this is what like exactly, Bone. Like a lot of us, we are the first thing you have is the person's appearance,
Mm-hmm.
and how you see that person is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes how you're going to carry that person. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I get where she was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Monica said, I understand Monique having an opinion and love, but we're not confined to dress code to define us. And again, I do agree with that. But
You never miss, Lucy. Because listen, we cannot go on labeling black women. I'm
hmm
sorry. I just do not subscribe to because you look like this. That's just like saying because you wore a miniskirt is your fault that you got raped. I
hmm
mean, you know what I'm saying? We have
I
got to
agree.
take this stigma off of black women, and we also have to take this stigma of respectability politics on, because just because I'm looking a certain way, I flew to Dubai. I had
hmm
my hair was laid, fried,
hmm
dyed, and whipped to the side. I'm on a 12-hour flight. My scarf is for my head. I'm a black woman. I
Right.
can't just lean up against the window and roll around on the pillow all night on a 12-hour flight
No,
and then come out, to be in another country and be
but,
casket ready. That's not
but
my
but let
look.
me
That's
ask you though, like something that you just said that. So you got on your flight. You were, and again, I don't want to say your parents ready. It wasn't so you got on the flight and you was going to sleep. You put your wrap on or your head tie or whatever.
right.
So
My
again, I'm not
scarf.
opposed. Your
Yeah,
scarf. I'm not.
I had
But
a scarf.
again, and I'm not opposed to that. But like, I guess like somewhere in where did we? Because I am old school, and again, I'm old school. But at this time, I do like, yeah, I like my jeans. I'm from New York. I came from the baggy era, all that, and I
I'm
still.
with you. We're the same era. I'm
But
with you.
there's sometimes though that I do say like when I do go out, and depending on where I'm going, if I'm traveling, I feel that baggy, comfortable look again, it's not for anyone to address me, but I feel that I should be dressed in a way that is gonna carry respect. No one's just gonna walk up on me, come talk no bullshit. Because I've been in situations. I'll give you a perfect example. I go to work on certain days. I'm dressed professionally. Go to work. I used to go to this 7-Eleven that used to be around the corner. Dude knew me every morning. See me, hey, how you doing, Mr. Damon? Yada yada yada. My coffee, blah blah blah. I went in there one time on the weekend. I'm in there, my jeans on, got a hat on to the back, just doing me. This dude, same guy. He's looking at me like he don't know me. And it wasn't until I took my hat off. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Damon, I didn't recognize you." So again, perception
But
is
who but
really
but whose fault is that? His for judging you on
it
your
is.
appearance, or
It
yours
is.
for being who you were, relaxed and laid back.
It is, but this is what I'm saying. Like again, how many times you know, does that happen and how do we change the narrative? Because if he's doing it, and this is what I'm saying, so like a lot of issues we deal with the police, this, that, and the third, again, is that part of the problem?
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
the problem is respectability of politics. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we care what someone else thinks about me
Boom.
by the way
Thanks,
that
boom.
I look,
He
you
saw the
know what I'm
curls.
saying?
Mm.
then
Yeah.
then that's on that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as
Mm-hmm.
long as I'm minding my business and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not bothering anybody, then we are subscribing to prejudice. We are
Right.
subscribing to bias, and we don't know these people. So that is the same thing to say, like, just because somebody looks different than we do, then we're going to prejudge them. Just like we
Mm-hmm.
get prejudged every day. And the younger generation is saying, I don't care. I'm
Well,
unapologetically black.
and I agree with you. And this is why I wanted to go back because you kind of led back into this comment that the McCray King said that I wanted to touch on. And it's like you said. So I understand you want to be unapologetically black and you want to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a valid point too at times. So if you got on a flight and you started talking to the person next to you, and they could, let's say, take your show to the next level, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
missed that opportunity because of how you're dressed. And I hate to say that, though, I agree with that statement because, again, you should be able to be who you are. But sometimes opportunity does come in different packages, and
I get it.
you may miss out on that opportunity. And I agree with that statement.
But what the younger generation is saying, then that opportunity is not a fit for me because you didn't
Mm,
take me for who I was.
mm,
Right? This is what the
mm,
younger generation thinking is. That's
mm,
not my problem that I missed the opportunity. Then it means it wasn't a good fit because you
mm,
prejudged me already. For you don't know if it was an opportunity, you don't know what my show could bring to you, to
mm,
elevate your ratings. So
mm,
I mean, I'm just going off of what I hear.
mm.
I stay with the young people, and I've
Right,
had
right.
several conversations, and I'm I'm leaning because I feel like if we don't, I feel like who's to say that you are not prideful in yourself because you are on an airplane or in the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning as a
Mm-hmm.
black woman and protecting your protected hairstyle. Like, I just
Hey,
don't get it.
hey, I get it, and I like the comments because both Boone and Monica hit on a point. You dress for success because that was always the motto. But now, if we do it, you call bougie, and I think that's a flip side to this as well. And like Monica said, it's about comfort. Than wearing what someone else thinks we should wear. We should show up dressed for the necessary part, and I think that's really where I was going with it. I, I think we have to understand the part that we're participating in.
What's the part in the airport?
Right. And again, a- and you're right. The younger generation will not conform to anyone else's opinion, and I'm fine with that.
They won't do
Um,
it.
but I just think at some point, what's the saying? Despite your
Cut off
nose,
your noses. Well,
spite your face. Or what?
listen,
Mm-hmm.
they are driving a lot of change. The
Mm-hmm.
old ways that we think about a lot of things are coming around and coming full circle because they do not subscribe to our politics. They just don't.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I hope we can find the happy medium. I think Monique hit a lot of things on the head.
While she
Um,
was wearing a robe with no bra on, but I'm a digress.
hey, see, leave it to you. Leave it. Right. I'm a great case. Yeah, they talking about buying you an airport wig, right? Because I mean, but
Sure.
a lot of our sisters out here wear wigs nowadays anyway. So how you gonna mess up that wig? I get it, but
Hey,
buy
look,
you an
it's
airport.
not. You know how much a late friend. You know what I'm saying. You know what this here is costing. I'm about to fly to California. Our flight is early, and guess who will have a scarf on her head?
Hey, look, I'm married to one too. Look, I know mine gonna put one on, but I think again, you say dressing for the part, like how you dressing for the part at the airport. I just think you know where you're going and what you're going to go do.
Mind your business.
Hey, and that, you know what? I can't argue with that. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and sit over
Okay,
here.
I got one
And
more point to make. if you ever flown or been in the airport, our counterparts stay with pajamas and blankets in the airport and slippers. They've been doing that for years.
Okay. So
Years.
trash is trash, right? And I will say that. But the narrative somehow always come back because everything is taken from us, right? Everything is appropriated, by our counterparts. Anything that we do. So although we're talking about it, they appropriate it and they do it now. It becomes normal, and it's okay for them. However, it's a problem for us. And again, I just put it back to until
That's
we.
why I don't like it, because it
And I
becomes
know.
a problem for us.
I,
And now
I
Balenciaga will go ahead because of this controversy and make a
make it.
bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, our younger generation will spend $200 and $300 on
$200.
that Balenciaga
Right. Right.
bonnet because
Right.
they're gonna appropriate this situation. Mark my
Yep.
words. Make
Oh,
sure y'all know y'all heard it here first on Two
I'm
Mics Up.
okay. And right, you right, Teresa. Like when we do it, we ghetto, and all of that. There, all that is just pajamas. And the McCray Kings, if you don't take pride in the way you look, then don't be mad when they click a pic and you up on my timeline. And it's true. I have to agree with that. Like you really can't get mad because that's another flip side to it. Like okay, this is how you coming out and you cool with it. And again, we talking about news and the media. Social media can be, I don't want to say mean and evil, but this is how
It
people
is
would go
mean.
viral with some shit. Like, you and I hate to say you thinking you in your worst moment or you ain't seen it yet till somebody put your ass up online and you going viral looking like some shit at the airport. But hey, I ain't want to talk about nobody. We don't do that around here. Anyway.
Moving on.
So there was something else that she said in that in her comments and things that I saw her. Um, she was on Tammy Roman and a couple other things that I just kind of went back and
And
looked at.
Tammy Roman had on a bonnet.
Okay, hey, look,
Talking to her.
talking to
But
look,
look, she make her money because she do the Bonnet Chronicles. That's what
right.
it's called.
I'm just saying, I did my research, I did my little, because the night that I saw it, I was a little toe up and whatever. Digress. I went, and one of the things that stuck out to me, and I want to get people's feel on this. We sit down today, and a lot of times we call each other kings or queens. And I just want to catch the temperature. Like, how do you feel, Lisa, about, referring to another sister or brother or friend or family or whatever as a king or queen? And what's your take on that?
I'm not one to use that term. I'm not mad at it, but I'm a more of a sister. Like if I
Mm,
see another black woman or I'm talking with my friends or whatever, I'm more like sis. I'm more of a sis person. I'm not, you know, I think we throw it around very loosely, but I understand why. I
mm,
do
mm,
get why, because I guess it's more of a like, so people could have a higher self-esteem, I guess, within themselves, or to let you know that you come from kings and queens and that kind of thing. But I don't really, I don't use that too much.
hmm. Okay. African Americans are made to cover their heads by weight, but we have a choice now. Hey, look, I agree. Hey, look, wear what the hell you want to wear. I'm not mad at it.
You can
Brother and
wear
sister,
your
better term of endearment. And that's where I was going because I know me. If I'm calling, somebody a king or somebody a queen, if you maybe somebody in my family, my wife, if somebody like this gentleman here, Boone is a longtime friend, a childhood friend, 40 plus years. His brother's like he's not only my brother, because he really is. It is a term of endearment. But I look at him as a king. This is someone that's someone I grew up with, and I watched him grow, and I'm proud of him as a man of color, doing the things that he do. So in that sense, for me, I would say, he's a king. Um, I just think we it's part of our jargon because we're so colorful as a people, and we're always looking to try to evolve or I guess one up the last, new word, hit word. Back in the day it was the joint, and now we went through the guap phase, and we're always trying to be more colorful than we were, and I just don't see how it fits. One, when we're talking about it amongst ourselves, and I don't really see, and I wish we had some younger folks on here, because I would like to see how they feel about that term. Because a lot of them, when I have a couple of young guys that I work with, and when I just kind of asked this question, they looked at me like I was crazy. It was like, ain't no fucking kings around here, ain't no queens around here. Is you getting bitches and hoes and that type of commentary still.
And then I don't want you to put me like for my close friends and family, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But out don't put me don't cause see this queen thing, it
Mm-hmm.
comes with too many, too many prerequisites, like
Hmm.
to even qualify, like, I'm put like going back to that,
Mm-hmm.
like you gotta be this, you can't do that, you gotta be this, you gotta be this way, you gotta, dress up like you going to church to go to the airport,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be at work, taking and swallowing microaggressions all day. You gotta. I don't want to be in that box,
Right.
because I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to live up to whoever is calling me a queen or whatever the standard is to be that. I don't know if I want to be involved in that whole situation, because I know Monique was saying it. I know it was part of the
Right.
conversation, but that was a part of her prerequisite. Like,
Mm.
that in order to queens, you have to, you carry yourself and you have to do this and you have to do that. And I think that the way that we're moving as black women,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't speak on the king thing because of course I'm not,
Right. No, I understand.
that gender, but as black women, the way that we're moving now, we're starting to shed some of that, um you know, taking abuse at work, and
Right.
have you know, having to have a crown act the way our natural hair. In the 80s and 90s, we couldn't go to work with these in. You know
True.
what I'm saying?
True.
So Kim
True.
Kardashian wore it, and now it's acceptable. So these kids are calling it out all across the board. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I want to subscribe to that queen. Like, I know my cousin, he calls me that all the time, but that's his language. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Right.
love language. Like, I
Right.
call you bruh. That's my
Mm-hmm.
love language. I don't know if I want to subscribe to the whole,
Hey,
because
I
you
just
may be calling me queen one day and calling me ratchet ghetto the next.
right. Right.
So
Nah.
I can go either way.
Well, well, shit. I know that. I think most people know that shit. You better watch out. Don't fuck around. Well,
you know.
it's true. I'm with Lucy. I get it can be meant. Yes, boom. Again, that's why I was referring to. It's culture appropriation. A lot of times, I think that comes through somehow through the media. Again, as we're talking about tonight, kind to appropriate what's ours and who we are, and trying to tell us who we are. Shireen, what's happening, girl? Thanks for joining us tonight. Good seeing you. So I have to be mindful of that. Real quick before we get into the next segment, I just want to take a moment to shout out a couple of more of our sponsors. TD3 Insurance Agency and Regina Leggett. Our Legal Shield Independent Associate. As always here on Two Mics Up, we like to support small businesses. TD3 Insurance Agency protects and covers all your insurance needs, from auto, home, renters, commercialty, specialty, and life insurance. TD3 Insurance is licensed in the DMV, North Carolina, and New York. Brand new office open at 3985 Prince William Parkway, Suite 206. Holla at my man Cliff. He'll go ahead and take care of you. Regina Leggett, Legal Shield Independent Associate. Do you need legal advice or legal representation? The days of no longer being able to afford an attorney are long gone. Get that representation that you need. Contact Regina Leggett at Regina Leggett, all one word, .wearelegalshield.com. So now we're back. Yeah, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? We say you up in here, sis. Thank you for being here tonight. Uh,
Hey, Reed.
she off the chain. Love that girl. She crazy. Love it. So today we had some news from uh your president, the new president, uh Biden. Um, I take Monique as a constructive criticism and love. I agree, Monica. I
So,
think you have to
me
take it
too.
if you really sit down and you really break it down and kind of analyze it. Because I went through about the 3 or 4 interviews that I saw her, and I went through them probably about 5 or 6 times just so that I had a better understanding of where she was or where she was coming from and how it related first to me. Because I think we start with ourselves first, and then
You
really you
know
kind
what?
of
Okay.
not. But I hey,
I,
look. I'm a husband. I got a daughter. I need to know these things.
you
I need to
know
be on
about a
top.
bonnet or two, right?
Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. I went to church. I think I did. I think I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
See, there
yeah.
you go.
So your president announced today, Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday. So with that being said, and I want to tread lightly because I think it's great. I think it's great.
Okay.
But is this shit enough?
No,
Because that's really what I,
absolutely not.
I ain't gonna because I'm a little mad. I'm happy, but I'm mad because where's the anti-hate crime? You know what I mean? Where's the defund of the police shit? Like,
Listen, the George Floyd Act, you know
eh,
what I'm saying? You know, the Voter Rights Act. Where's
right?
our immunity? You know what I'm saying? Getting rid of qualified immunity. I mean, I'm not mad at
Facts, Monica. Facts. Mm-hmm.
um I'm not
Day
mad
late, no
at
dollar short.
Juneteenth, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
mad at Juneteenth, if that makes any sense, because we up there fighting for real change,
Right.
and you, but it's America. So the
Okay.
crumbs, the
Right.
crumbs.
Okay. The crumbs, and then this goes back to conversation we had early on this season. Some people, give them a chance, give the administration an opportunity. Let's see what they do. Facts. Exactly, Shireen. Pass some of those laws. It's great
The John
that
Lewis voting right. I mean, I can go on and on.
go
I can give you
and we can go
but
on. No, you're
we
right
got
because we
things on the table.
we talked about it,
Right?
and like it's like
Look.
and like what they did was they took the one on the top that was the easiest, to appease. That's right. Say, and there you go, Monica. That's what I'm going. The crumbs, like you're doing us a favor, and please, like, ladies, don't get mad at me, but Miss Harris, Vice President, she's starting to annoy the fuck out of me. I just had to say that one time.
Okay, get it
Bec-
out, bro. This is a safe place to have a conversation. Get it out, bro.
I just what is she doing? What is she there for?
You know what? I tuned out once she got on TV and said that America is not a racist country. That's when I mean I was hurt. I mean I felt the way, and then that's when I kind of just tuned out. We have states that are
Yes, safe place. Pineapple. Safe place, safe word. Pineapple. Yeah.
we have states that are fighting critical race theory being taught in school. And
Facts.
because it's named critical race theory, you will get it, but it's actually American history.
History. Hmm.
But we won't acknowledge that they are up on that hill fighting against to keep critical race theory out. They are fighting we have no movement on the George Floyd Policing Act, even though the Democrats gave up most of the meat
Me.
in the
Okay.
bill.
Keep it.
It is
Tell him.
water. It is
Tell him.
total water, and they still won't move on it. You
Okay.
know, we have the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that no movement.
No
You
movement.
know,
Nope.
like we have issues that's going on, and you was like, you know what? Never mind that. We're gonna have about to get Juneteenth. You get
Yeah. Right.
Juneteenth.
Right.
You're not happy? We gave you Juneteenth. Come
And,
on.
and that's really the vibe that I got, like watching it, because that's what I hear coming out of their mouth. Again, when we go back to, let's put the pressure on all of these things that are going on, all of these things that we're asking for, and and this is what, like, and that's what makes me mad. Because, like you said, when she said that, my views changed about her, and that's what I feel that would be exactly her words to us, because they would roll her out to be the one to deliver the message. Well, we gave you Juneteenth, like, well, come on, guys. And that irks me.
I'm gonna say this, and guys, just know that I am coming from a place of love. I am treading lightly right now, but we, as a people, have to
Mm,
change the way that we think about voting.
yes,
We are playing checkers, and America is playing chess,
you what?
especially the Democratic Party.
Hmm.
They take our vote, they snatch it, and they do what they want to do, all because we have a history of voting and we have to cast a ballot. But
Hmm.
here's my thought, and I
Hmm.
was silenced last year quickly among friends, family, foe, Facebook groups. Everybody went in on me, and I was well welcome in the heat because I knew we would be here,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So we are the demographic that got Mr. Biden in this office. He would
Tell them.
not be in this office if it was not for black people.
Hmm.
He know it, and we know it. Now, if we know our power, we
Hmm.
will never ever again give away our collective
Right.
vote just because you're a Democrat.
Hmm.
We have got to stop doing that. We've been doing that for years, and they've been slapping us in our face for years, and we've been sitting right where we at right now for
Hmm.
years, getting
Yep.
crumbs, getting crumbs, getting crumbs for our vote.
Hmm.
For our vote. That's what we
True.
got. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people, me and you, Dan, we was right here on this show when Ice
Yep.
Cube,
Yep.
and people ripped me,
Yep.
you,
Yep.
and
Like we was
Ice
crazy.
Cube,
Like like we was
unmuted,
crazy. Yep.
our own people,
Hmm.
ripped us to shreds.
Hmm.
And here we are.
Yep.
Because we have to start thinking differently. They're playing chess and we're
Yep.
playing checkers. We
Mm.
hold the power. We hold the vote. You like a progressive, you have somebody who is talking our language. You don't get the vote and then tell us what you're not going to do. You don't get this vote
Mm.
unless you do what we say do.
Yep. Yeah, look, I'm going to go back to a couple of these because I do. One, I like when you learn something new. Shireen, they said they just unveiled the statue of George Floyd in Newark, New Jersey, outside the courthouse. And this is, like she said, that's what blew my mind. This is in a whole nother state, which is mind-boggling yet interesting. I mean, we're just so disjointed in this country, and as Monica, so I mean, this is very well said. When we cast a ballot for a president, they stormed and killed people. The votes there and hands are still tied, and that's the frustrating part. You want to really believe that you're a part of a system, and again, Shireen, your perfect point here. The current GOP is not a viable option. And we've
Mm-mm.
talked about
Not
this
the
so many.
Democrat. Mm-mm.
No. And really both.
Are no
We
good.
are no good. The
You're not
system,
subscribing to either one of them because
no, no.
the GOP is in your face and the
Yep.
Democrats are behind
Democrats
your back.
all day.
Okay?
All day.
So here's the deal. We put up front what we are looking for. And if
Mm-hmm.
you are going to do what we are looking for as whether a Democrat, independent, um, a progressive, whatever the case, if you're not talking Black America, then you're not talking to us because
Exactly.
the Democratic Party cannot win a presidential election without Black America. Period.
Fact. Period. Period. Point blank. Period. Point blank on that one. So I
But
agree,
he
and I
told
and
me
I
that he had our back. He said that.
yeah, right. And look, Monica, if it was
If
that easy,
everybody start a new
if
foundation
it
with
was
that.
that easy to just blow this whole stinking thing up and start from scratch, that might be, one of the best things to do. And I just think, like Lisa was saying, you got to stop really looking at the party line and start looking at the individual
And make them come to
and come to
us.
you. I agree. And that's where she and I, we really feel the same about that. It's not about one party or the other. You got to start looking at the person, the platform, and we really got to start moving and make them come to us first locally, and kind of work our way up, because that the whole uh foundation, like Monica said, is just corrupt and is biased. And it just makes me think, man, I was just going to talk about this commercial. I don't know if you see it here in Virginia. We got that George, what's it, the Yunkin or Duncan or whatever it is, the guy running for president. I mean, governor. His commercial caught my eye because
McCullough. Hmm.
no, his new
Oh, the
guy.
Republican.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Republican. It only caught my eye because I was like, now this was smart. So he's walking through the crowd of old heads, like Monica just said, the old heads and old ideas, and they're all dressed in their blue, suits, and he's just dressed like a regular guy, and he's walking through, and I say, that would catch my eye only if I knew that you weren't full of shit. Because the rest of the commercial went on to talk about things that I'm like, well, he's not talking to my community. And so, but I'm just saying, like, those are the type of ideas that I think moving forward, we need to have people that are really moving that way, fighting against the grain, moving against old heads and changing old ideas. I just don't see a lot of that out there. Like we had the sister Jennifer Carol Floyd.
Jennifer Cowfoy,
Uh,
man.
I thought she was
Watch
one
and
that
Rashid,
Quasum.
people that's for the people, but see, they not corporately backed. So
Right.
they're taking big corporation money. They
hmm
grassroots people because their ear is to the ground. But we're so conditioned that
Later,
honestly,
bro. I agree. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
So, uh, last but not least, before we get out of here, I did want to talk about Father's Day. I don't know what many of you are going to be doing for your Father's Day, but I hope everyone has a great one. Uh, you know, are you having any plans of doing anything at home? I know, you have your young man, back home, and baby girl, and a lot of things going on. Were you guys planning on doing anything for Father's Day? Anything special?
I do not have any plans. I don't know what my son has planned. He's 30 years old,
Mm.
so I'm not really included in his Father's Day plans. Now, Mother's Day, a different story, but
Right.
his Father's Day plans, I'm not sure because I think that he has to work, so that's probably why he was here with his daughter last weekend. But
Right. Well, happy Father's Day to you, Sean. Cuzzo, I wish you the best. He's another gentleman, my cousin. He's a great man, great dad, great leader, great provider in his household. Thank you, Monica. For the happy Father's Day shout out. Me, like
Mother's Day, bruh.
yeah, like me, like every year. My wife, my daughter sit and what do you want? Or dad, I'm like, I could not want or need anything else in the world. The Lord has given me life and health. I have the most amazing wife in the world. I have the most stunning and happy Father's Day. Thank you to all from Shireen. I have the most stunning and amazing and most talented daughter in the world, and I'm saying that because she's my daughter. Yeah, and Sharisa, thank you.
But
Happy Father's Day.
she really
Te-
is.
right, she really is. Tell my man Elliot, Happy Father's Day on behalf of myself and Lisa. Two mics up. My man L. I gotta holler at him. Miss him. Uh, and we have family coming in, so this is
I
when I say
swear.
family, and I mean like my daughter and her boyfriend and
Hmm.
my grand puppy.
Hmm.
We still doing the local thing. Yeah, there she go. Yeah, I'm not in trouble tonight, babe. I'm behaving. No pray for Dame tonight. uh and we're just doing, a local thing, but there's nothing more right now that I could want other than just having that.
That's
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, so I look
Because
forward
I
to it.
know
Not
men complain about their Father's Day gifts.
well, you
There's
know what?
no comparison to Mother's Day, so you're good.
Nah, because look, let's just be clear here. We know mom is the pinnacle of it all. Like I'm just let's just call it what it is. Mom is the pinnacle. She the backbone. She the head, the heart, the ruler, all that good stuff. Right. Peanut whiskey day. Right. Exactly. We're gonna have to get some shots online. Get that peanut whiskey, y'all. If y'all ain't had none, yeah, I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna bring the bottle next time and get y'all some peanut whiskey because right now that's the hotness. So we're gonna do some shots online, cuz. But yeah, mom's is the pinnacle. Dad's. I mean, not to say like you don't love dad, and I won't say that.
Dad. I love my
Well, I was
dad.
gonna say because
I was a daddy's girl.
I was
So
gonna say
Father's Day
it's
is
different.
different for me because I miss my father.
And I was just going to say, let me clean that up because I will say, if there's nobody on this planet that loves me, my daughter loves me to death, and
The different
I,
dynamic.
oh man, that's my road dog. That's my buddy. That's
Mhm.
I look, man. I'm getting all hot, and I'm
I know,
beaming
I
because you
know,
know what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
Come
My
on,
baby
Anna.
girl,
I hope
you're
you was
right.
watching Anna.
You know what I
And
mean? Oh,
Angie, look, and she's the one who could be like, Dad,
yo,
I
yeah.
see
Mom's
that.
like,
I was like, well, looky.
yeah, 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 yeah. You
I
want to get
bring
me
something
right?
to the world. Look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't thank you, Cheryl. Happy Father. Yeah, and look, my wife, look, she'll just say to me sometimes when I'm cutting up, don't let me tell your daughter. Talk
Listen,
about it.
I
Talk
saw
about
it
it.
with my own eyes. Now, listen, guys, when y'all ain't pray for Dad, just call Anna Cunningham and let it be like
Yeah, son. Yeah, son.
that.
Yeah, son. I'm done up. I'm done up. My daughter called me. My daughter hit me up, Dad. Dad, what was that? What are you doing? I feel like I'm 5 years old now. Like, yeah, it's my baby. But real
Right,
talk, yes, and
right.
as all of you wonderful ladies and listeners say, yes, thank you, Michelle. Happy Father's Day. Ron, yes, dads are just as important as moms, and Monica, dads are the backbone. I pray that those of you who still have your dads in your life,
Hmm.
spend some time with them, call them, love them, hug them, tell them how much you miss them. I know it's
Please,
been a yes, please do. I know it's been a tough year for many of us, and now that we're coming back out, the world is opening back up. Uh, when you go see him, give him a big hug and kiss. Let him know that you care, because we really need that in today's world. And before we close out, I do want to continue on the theme of Father's Day by shouting out a couple of our other sponsors. I want to say thanks to Next Level Keys and Riddick Entertainment. As always, here at Two Mics Up, we support small businesses. Next Level Keys, with my man Quan, is a full service credit card repair firm that renders optimum services to their customers in all facets and walks of life. It could be qualifying for a mortgage or getting that new car. Contact Next Level Keys at support at nextlevelkeys.com. Check out my man Quan. He's doing great work over there. Riddick Entertainment. Riddick Entertainment is a multifaceted event management firm based here in Northern Virginia. Riddick Entertainment's detailed creativity and precision event planning will give you a truly meaningful and memorable experience. Contact Riddick Entertainment at info@riddickent.com. I say all of that because,
Riddick
you know,
Entertainment.
hey, Riddick
This
Entertainment
Sunday.
this Sunday. If y'all are in the DMV and you're looking for something to do, come out and have some love and laughter with your husband, your dad. Riddick Entertainment is going to have Algiers Diamond, the comedian, DJ. Contact Riddick Entertainment at info@riddickent.com for more information and details. And I do not want to leave out, coming September 11th and 12th, the Virginia Black Business Directory is putting on the Virginia Black Business Expo. We'll have more information. This will be held at the Fredericksburg Expo Center. You can get more at the VABlackBusinessDirectory.com. I want to shout out our sisters and brothers over there with the VABBD that's putting on this expo. You'll hear more from Two Mics Up.
Cause
Maybe a
guess what?
surprise. Cause guess what?
Guess
We'll be there,
we
and we'll
be
be
hosting it.
we'll be cutting up, having some fun, and just want everybody to come out and support black businesses. It's going to be a full blown gala. They have so much going on. It's going to be amazing. 150 vendors, music, shows. It's just going to be a whole experience. And get yourself together. There's rooms, reservations, all of that stuff. This is a whole
Mm,
weekend experience. So check it out.
good time. Good
It's going to
time.
be a great time. And I want to thank you all who took time out tonight to just sit here and just cut up with Lisa and I, have a little fun. Uh, Tune in for a new episode on Monday. For those of you who are old enough to like some 90s R&B music, I've had the pleasure to sit down with the 90s R&B group, and we're going to have a little fun on Monday. So tune in to check out the episode. You can catch us anywhere streaming platform or right here on YouTube. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, hit the button, ring the bell so that you can get all new info and current episodes from Two Mics Up. Follow us online at www.twomicsup.com. You can follow us along on IG, Facebook, Twitter, and now YouTube at Two Mics Up. And before we go, sis, I didn't ask you.
Yes,
You got anything going on outside of that? Like, you got anything else rocking? Anything else you want to share?
I probably do, but I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, no, we had a long weekend. Um,
What?
so on that note, thank you all. Appreciate you joining us again on Thursday night. And like we always do at this time, stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out. And yes, good evening, fam.
Bye. Good night.